So if you just joined us, there is a link that the presenters would like to share. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat for people who just joined. Just to make sure Rachel gets it also, and I'll give it a minute. Welcome, Rachel. Welcome, Ryan. We are going to go ahead and start. It's a 30-minute session. It'll go rather quickly, so I'll turn it over to the presenters here in just a second. And we will try to facilitate some Q&A towards the end. So if you have any questions during the presentation, please drop them in the chat and I'll facilitate that Q&A at the end. Also, feel free to just save those questions up and ask them yourselves. But I'll go ahead and turn it over to Anna Mills, Saramonda Swigert, and Maria Chow. Maria Chow's not here, but Ryan Hitch. And thank you for being here. Cheers.
Thank you. We're very excited to present. I teach at City College of San Francisco. And Saramanda, you want to say hello?
Hello. I also teach at City College of San Francisco, and we collaborated on the OER textbook, How Arguments Work.
We'll say hello, Ryan.
Hi, glad to be here. I teach a couple different places, but Norco for starters, Norco College in Southern California.
Great. And we worked together on a textbook that was grant funded by the Academic Senate for the California Community Colleges OER initiative.
Maria, would you like to introduce yourself? I'm so sorry to cut you off.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Hi, everyone. I was a rhetoric major at UC Berkeley. I was a student of Anna Mills about 13 years ago. And so I am excited to be here. And it was just an honor to collaborate with everyone on this textbook. And I'm excited about this talk. Now I work as a content strategist in healthcare, and definitely I've applied a lot of this, of what I learned over the past decade to what I do now. So thank you.
Thanks, Maria. Glad you're here. So just a look at how we've organized the presentation. Really quickly, what is OER and how it is an equity tool generally. And then sort of 4 aspects of the approach to equity that we took in the textbook. And a bit about social annotation with the textbook. And then questions and discussion. So what is OER? Very briefly, OER, open educational resources, offer these advantages. They are free, instant access for everyone. They take the guessing game out of copyright and fair use. They can be integrated into Canvas, and they can be printed like a regular print textbook. They involve what we call the 5R permissions. These are things we can do with OER that we may not be able to do with copyrighted materials. We can make and own copies, retain, reuse in a range of contexts, revise, depending on the license, but most commonly. Remix parts of different textbooks and redistribute freely. How do you know if something is OER and not just free, right? So the key is that it's licensed in a certain way, which is through Creative Commons, and this is what the little Creative Commons license logos look like. But if you see anything like CC BY, and C, that's a Creative Commons license. Which legally allows for those 5R activities. So that's the really brief version of what is OER. We're going to focus on how OER is a tool for equity. In general, it's not just that it saves students money, but studies have shown that it benefits disadvantaged student populations more. And that's for a number of reasons that, you may see as we get into the presentation. But just to look at a couple of studies. This one that was published in the International Journal of Teaching and Learning in Higher Education showed that there was an increase in the grade for all students of 8.6% and a decrease in the rate of drop, fail, withdraws of 2.68%. But for folks who were Pell eligible, who were low income, and who were non-white or part-time, there was a greater increase in the grade and a greater decrease in the drop, fail, and withdraw rate. So this is helping students who are marginalized more even than it's helping the average student. This is another study from Pasadena City College that showed similar results for veterans and low-income students and foster youth, that we saw a greater increase in retention and success for those students. So we want to introduce our textbook, How Arguments Work, a guide to writing and analyzing texts in college. This textbook is the product of a collaboration among 14 college English instructors from around California. We've been funded by 3 grants over a course of 3 years to develop and expand the textbook and the ancillary resources. And even though we've just done kind of a soft launch, we've been able to document that it has been used in at least 34 colleges. So I think that's pretty good. And it's starting to get reviews on various OER search sites. So we've seen a lot of positive instructor feedback on it, and it is very much a work in progress. We're still tinkering, we're still adding, and we invite your participation in that. That's part of the general OER model. So the first aspect of the equity approach that we wanted to highlight was just the idea of very organized practical strategies. So the book is centered around student writing tasks. So everything is very purposeful. We're looking at reading critically in order to write a summary that shows understanding of the structure of an argument, assessing a text critically, responding in an original way, and then building in response to multiple texts with research-based arguments, and finally working toward argument analysis. And so students see that structure, they see the tasks, and within the coverage, we have coverage of ethos, pathos, logos, and various rhetorical concepts, from causal argumentation to rhetorical analysis and essay organization, the writing process, grammar, and style. Here's a table of contents if you want to take a quick glance. And you have the link in the resource page, right? So you're welcome to explore the textbook as we talk. But the general philosophy with that organization and presentation of rhetoric concepts is that we're aiming for anti-elitist rigor. I don't know if you like that phrase, but that is how I'm thinking about it. The idea that we as instructors and textbook writers can sort of do the extra work to clarify rhetorical concepts in everyday language. I'm a believer that that is usually possible, and that we can mention the terms mostly in parentheses for reference, but not emphasize the technical nature of rhetoric or the importance of the vocabulary. Students are already applying critical thinking strategies in their everyday life and will recognize these strategies and these concepts as we use everyday language. So those rhetoric concepts are introduced in context of writing tasks. For example, fallacies are part of the chapter on evaluating the strength of an argument, and they're organized according to, what kind of logical problem does this argument have? What patterns of problems should we look for? And we explain those in everyday language. Similarly, Toolman argumentation is taught in the chapter on reading to figure out the argument in the context of taking notes on an argument in preparation for writing about it. Another aspect of this sort of organized practical approach is templates, inspired by They Say, I Say, The Moves That Matter in Academic Writing by Graff and Birkenstein. I'm sure you're all familiar with that book. So in this book, we have also offered templates, but we've organized them a bit differently according to sort of rhetorical purpose within a writing assignment. And the student response to templates I've found is always sort of wild enthusiasm. There's been a lot of social annotation comments of like, oh, I can use this. This is great. And we kind of emphasize that these templates, rather than leading to more formulaic writing, they can be generative. They lead students into a greater sense of possibilities for critical thinking and writing, and greater sense of agency and around what choices I can make. What are my options? Here's a sample page from the textbook with some templates for critiquing assumptions. Again, we're not using the terminology of warrants. We're not getting really technical about assumptions, but we're demonstrating examples of how one would discuss them. And I'm gonna let Ryan take the next slide about organization.
Happy to do so. Anna, is it cool if I just tell you when to move on to the next slide and you can get us through?
Perfect.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so organization makes the content more accessible. That's an important factor to consider when you think about the idea that students and faculty members, frankly, are accessing this text through the internet. Anecdotally, I can tell you that my students have noted that the text is easy to use, and although my students have not articulated it this way, what I've observed, and I think others on the team have observed, is that there's a connection between this easy to read comment and active conscious efforts that we've been taking to reduce cognitive load through things like chunking, descriptive headers, pictures, and a lot more. Page summaries, chapter summaries. We can go to the next slide. Here you see a snapshot of how one particular chapter is organized on our textbook. The thing that I like about this, I might be making up this terminology as I go, but instead of students just experiencing a textbook, let's say vertically, going from page 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and then perhaps flipping back, students can take a sort of horizontal approach to this. They can skip around a little bit. They know what's happening up ahead. And I think it makes it a little bit easier to navigate. Next slide. So part 2 of our equity approach is representation of marginalized identities. And I, for one, can say this as someone who's still learning a lot about this. I was really shocked at what that covers. Because certainly here you can see that we have diverse representation in terms of images, names and pronouns, sample argument topics, and suggested readings. Some of these things had not really occurred to me prior to working on this textbook, and I believe we have some examples coming up. So here you see just a few of the many wonderful pictures included in this textbook. I, for one, can tell you that I was tasked with finding pictures like this, and at times felt very challenged. I thought, well, I'm halfway there. Can we just use this one? But I pushed through, mostly with Anna's support, so thank you, Anna. And I was really happy with the results. And as I look at the finished product, I realized, no, halfway is not going to cut it. We got to get all the way. Next slide. Additionally, argument topics themselves touch on marginalized identities. For instance, the debate over whether to capitalize Black and Sarah Amanda Swigard's typography and identity, or additional texts like Gizem Gur's spread feminism, not germs. So it's not just in how the students are reading, but it's in what they're reading and the conversations that sort of naturally occur as a result of that reading. Very comprehensive in that sense. And then I believe, Anna, the next slide goes back to you.
Yes, thanks. Just to give another example of that, we try to be really conscious about the sample arguments that we choose throughout. So when we're trying to illustrate the scenario test for faulty assumptions, we give an example involving overseas Filipino workers and their rights as non-citizens. So, the scenario test is just because X doesn't mean necessarily that Y. So we have just because workers are not citizens does not mean that they have no legal rights. People can have legal rights without being citizens, etc. So that's just one little example. And the next part of the equity approach is just simply put an encouraging tone. So I learned about this through some equity professional development that was led by Sarah Amanda Swigert, talking about how the affective domain is essential. Of course, we know this from reading apprenticeship as well, and culturally responsive teaching, but just the simple idea that let's see, this is Ryan, so I'll let you take over, Ryan.
You were handling it so well. I think the only thing I would add on to this is definitely working on this textbook challenged some of my assumptions, not only on what I teach, but how I teach it. And trying to understand that even if I'm giving my students all the correct content, if I'm not doing it in a way that encourages them to engage in the process of learning, I may still be losing them in that process.
And just to add, in reading other OER textbooks, even ones that I really liked, I was surprised by how difficult it is to sort of stop warning students. And I found myself warning students, oh, this is a common mistake I see all the time. Don't do this. And so we've really focused on editing those out and reshaping the text around possibilities. What can students do? What are their options? Framing it in that sense. And I think Ryan was speaking to how that shifted your thinking around teaching and just reminded you of how much the language that we choose affects how students approach the content.
Absolutely.
So here's just a quick example of that with some phrases like where we're teaching about summaries. We're saying the summary can allude, it can leave out, the article might describe, we might do this, that sense of possibility. The final part of the equity approach we wanted to highlight was multiple means of representation. You might be familiar with that from Universal Design for Learning. And this, I believe, no, it's not right. Okay, so just having an audio version of each page was important to us. So students can click play at the top of the page. And I think, Ryan, you had talked about how students were responding to this and commenting on appreciating having the audio version for multitasking as well as for audio learners. We also have argument maps for a spatial representation of ideas, not just the textual. And we've tried to choose images that reinforce meaning through metaphor, like a house needing a solid foundation and an argument needing that foundation is a way to talk about assumptions. Oh, that's odd, sorry. I don't know why it just skipped ahead, but 1 second. Here we go. So we also have annotated sample essays as another way to present the material through examples. We have a full suite of self-correcting Canvas quizzes with, again, very encouraging tone. If students get an answer wrong, the response tells them, oh, well, here's what you could do to complete the sentences. if they thought they were already complete, well, they're not, but here's what you could do to complete them. And here's the section of the textbook that would explain that further. Oh, okay. So that's sort of the broad version of the equity approach. And then I think since we're kind of low on time, I'm just going to go really quickly through these slides on, I'm going to de-emphasize the social annotation, collaborative annotation aspect, because I understand a lot of people have talked about that. And I think Dan has a session coming up later this afternoon on social annotation with hypothesis, right? So I won't go over that so generally. But this next slide, I will turn it over to Sarah Amanda.
Oh yes, well, like Ryan, I think that the participating in this project really has changed my approach to teaching because I was creating a document. I've been able to talk more humbly to my students about the writing process, to talk about the struggles, to talk about how I made the decisions I made. And since then, I've kind of opened it up to, because these are editable documents, because they're documents that are living, that are alive, and can be adapted to every class. I've started to have students create content specifically for our classes. And I think I've really noticed a significant change when we're all working towards the document. There's a democratizing process. That now I because I'm also in graduate school, because of this project, I've started to save old drafts and share them with my students so they can see the decisions I made, but also the mess that my writing began with. I think it's made me a better teacher using this document, changing this document, and contributing to this project. So yes, I highly recommend this kind of Paulo Freirean approach to teaching, where we're sort of students, writing is this ever evolving, you're never a perfect writer, you're always, getting better. And if they can see themselves as that, rather than, usually what we read is not dead, but it's not something we can contribute in, right? Whereas this kind of document is something that you can build as a class. And I think it builds both community and it shows writing as a process, that you're just constantly evolving process, rather than, something that they should already know how to do, or that they get a grade on and that's what they are in English.
Thanks. Yeah. Hi, it keeps going to the wrong page. So in a nutshell, social annotation through perusal or hypothesis is another way to extend that democratizing of the classroom and have students speaking back to the text alongside it as they read it. And because it's an OER text, we can share with them that their feedback may inform how we change it in future. And the individual teacher can be making changes in their own version of the text. So this is not something that's allowed with commercial textbooks, right? They're not going to give us a PDF of their textbook to upload into hypothesis or perusal. But students can speak directly back to how arguments work or any other OER textbook, and support each other and explain what doesn't make sense, connect the textbook to their own sense of identity, their own relationship to writing and to language. I've got examples of that you can look at on the slides that are linked to, since we don't have a lot of time to go through this, but you're welcome to look through the slides and see it. And we're planning a contest for fall for any students who are reading how arguments work and want to give feedback or examples or create content related to it. We are hosting a contest with some cash prizes. So I'm happy to share more about that as it evolves. I'll be promoting that, but basically they would just need to submit 3 annotations. And those will be used to inform future revisions of the textbook. And all participants would get a certificate of recognition for their editorial contribution. So again, this is part of sort of democratizing their sense, our sense as teachers and students of our relationship and the reading and writing process and the value of what they're producing. And also, if you're interested in making your own version or using parts of this textbook, you can request a LibreText account. And then you get access to training, and you can pick a chapter here and there or start editing chapters and pages from the book through LibreText.
It's also fully integratable with Canvas and other online classrooms, which is so helpful. So if there's just one chapter that works for you, you can build that into very easily to the Canvas shell.
That is
Yes,
so great.
and there's a link there on the resource page to the Canvas Commons course shell that you can just import into your Canvas course.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Haley had a question in the chat about the audience for this textbook. Is it pretty much geared towards a general audience, or is it first year comp versus second year comp? Where do you all see that?
I've used it in first year comp for sure. And I've used it in more rhetoric, more advanced classes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so I initially wrote it for English 105, which is the more advanced rhetoric course. And then the third most recent grant was to adapt it to work as well for the Intro Comp English 100 course. So and we have a couple of paths in the teacher's guide, suggested ways to use it for each of those courses. So at the end of the book, there's this teacher's guide with that kind of maps out how it might be used for either of those courses. And it's definitely been used for both. Yeah.
So well developed. Thank you so much for this talk and for your work. Any last minute questions from the audience here?
I just hope folks will reach out, give feedback, connect on Twitter, email me. Loving having feedback and more discussion on the approach.
Awesome. Thank you very much for this. Round of applause.
Thank
Okay,
you.
and we have the next session is actually on a new Zoom link. So we will be swapping off Zoom links whenever you're ready, but feel free to hang around, Anna and Ryan and Saramonda, if you want to. If we